afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are doing okay today. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to kind of do a part two, I guess, if you will, to a video that I did the other day. I did an update on the Kenneka Jenkins case, and I was talking about the settlement that her mom got last week, for $50+ million. Well, since that video, I have been kind of going down a rabbit hole again because I told y'all, if y'all been watching me for a while, once I get started, child, I can't stop, right? So, but anyway, since Kanika's mom has received that settlement, there is a whole flurry of other conspiracy theories floating around, right? And so I kind of want to come back and talk about one of those theories today. So I heard a video from a guy on here that's been speaking about the Kenneka Jenkins case for years, right? Since it happened, after it happened, on up to where he says he's been, turned around in his thinking, and his people have led him to believe that Teresa Martin actually is the one that was at the hotel, and she is actually the one that killed her daughter. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous. It's highly implausible. I mean, the math ain't mathing. So anyway, I was like, let me do this video. So the first piece of evidence that this guy has is this clip right here. Now, I'm sure we all remember this video. It was taken, a while back. Teresa was on the steps of, I believe, the courthouse, and she was crying, really, really. Of course, she's, absolutely upset because this is shortly after she's finding out, what happened to Kenneka, right? So anyway, this guy's first piece of evidence is this sling, or whatever you call brace around Teresa Martin's on hand, right? So Teresa recently did a video not too long ago saying that she had yet another surgery on her hand. And the reason why Teresa has this brace on, as well as she's had repeated surgeries on her hand, is because she has carpal tunnel syndrome, from working, so long. This carpal tunnel is pretty common, and she has carpal tunnel. And so that is why she actually has this brace on her hand. She does not have this brace on her hand because she was at the hotel, oh goodness, dragging her daughter to the freezer, or whatever else, narratives and flat out ridiculous, and quite creepy lies that this guy in particular is spinning around in his head, right? And my other thing is, if you really want justice for Kenneka Jenkins, why would you be out here spreading these clearly false narratives, right? And ridiculous narratives don't even make no sense to me. But anyway, if you guys remember back to 7 years ago, at the time of Kanika's death, we know that it was a social media explosion. I talked about it in my last video, where there were whole sections of YouTube only speaking about the Kenneka Jenkins case, right? And my thing is that people got so sidetracked. That is why the case went from a missing persons investigation to a death investigation, and it didn't go past a death investigation, because all of these ops had came out, all of these narratives start being spun around. People start making conspiracy theories, and they were, just playing around with the video. It was so much going on that it gave the police permission not to even want to pursue what really happened to Kenneka Jenkins. Because, in my opinion, after there is a death investigation being launched, the next step is a murder investigation. And so it took me just only a little while to realize why there was never a murder investigation. DNA was never taken from anybody or anything, right? And so, not even the security guard, from what I understand. And we talked about the security guard in my last video, right? And so, a lot of common sense went by the wayside when it comes to this case. And a lot of the reasoning behind that, is simply because of these, really, really, really ignorant narratives that start being flung around, right? And like I said, another one of those, narratives being, spun, was that Teresa Jenkins Martin had her daughter sacrificed. I guess sacrificed in order to gain money, right? It's just ridiculous. And my thing is, if she really was at the Crown Plaza Hotel, which doesn't make any sense to me, because if you guys can remember, the girls called Miss Teresa. Teresa was at home. She had had a double mastectomy. And if you guys, don't know what a double mastectomy is, she had underwent breast cancer surgery procedures, and she had a double mastectomy is the removing of both of her breasts. And so she was dealing with that. She actually did a video, made a Facebook video with this tube going down her chest, and that is a drainage tube, proving that she had, this type of operation. I believe she did this video shortly after all the social justice so-called, warriors, or, people started coming out spinning all kind of narratives. She got fed up. She said, she had been told that people were, making money, in her daughter's name, and keeping the money and not using the money, what they're supposed to be using the money for. Not only did she do this video admonishing those people, she also was trying to call off the protest, right? Not realizing the whole time that what the protest was doing was keeping a police investigation, keeping their feet to the fire, if you will. That's what the protests were doing, right? And so, and also during that time, there's this guy right here. His last name is Holmes. He came out and out lied. Um, he said that he had seen footage of the video, and he saw Kenneka walk herself into the freezer. Right now, we know that that is a lie. Mr. Holmes told a lie. Mr. Holmes is a op. We learned that Holmes is a go between the city and the predominantly black communities in some areas of Chicago and surrounding areas. And so my belief is that they sent him out to try to calm down the protests, right? Because the police were in such a uproar, and the city was in especially Rosemont. They were so desperate to find out what was going on at first, to where they actually did a reenactment video of the crime and try to pass it off as Kanika, right? So, and then they also did that video, in my opinion, because people are thinking that if you guys can remember back, um like I said, concerning Teresa, because we're gonna try to keep this on Teresa. I know I don't want to stray off, but it's probably gonna happen, right? So Miss Teresa, at first, after she got the phone calls from the girls, saying that Kanika was missing, she asked them what was going on. She called 911. The 911 operator really was no help at all. He told her just wait a while. She's probably just sleeping off, a drunk or something in another room, right? So later on that morning, she actually got up after shortly after having breast cancer surgery, having her breast removed, got up and traveled 35 plus minutes to the Rosemont Hotel, right? And so, but people are forgetting that the girls, whoever had the keys, but they say Monifa had the keys, they say Bree had the keys, but Miss Teresa, during her conversation with one of the girls, asked him to bring her car home to her. So they had the reason why it took part of the reason why it took Miss Teresa, in my opinion, 5 hours to get to the Rosemont Hotel. Not only was she recovering from surgery, she was also had to be in a lot of pain. They finally got brought the car home to her, and then shortly after that, she probably put on her clothes as best she could and started, towards the Rosemont Hotel, her and her daughter, right? So after she gets to the hotel, she's asking the hotel staff, security especially, could you please show me the video of the goings on of the previous night and earlier that morning? They said that they could not show her that video without a missing persons report being filed. Now, why you would not want to help this lady out and show her at least the video is beyond me. But as I got to thinking about it further, I'm thinking, well, okay, they're trying to cover something up. This is just my opinion. This is me, right? That coupled along with the fact that we later found out via her attorneys that she was only showed up until this day about 30 or 40 minutes of a 36 plus hour long stream of audio from the hotel cameras. They say there are 47 plus cameras in this one area alone, because this hotel evidently is they say it's a convention center. There are a lot of kitchens in this hotel, which some people were letting go by the wayside. It seemed like people were only hearing what they wanted to hear, right? So she's clearly upset about not being able to see the video. Another thing that people glossed over was the fact that it took them 36 hours to retrieve Kenneka Jenkins' body from the freezer, right? And in that 36 hours, the Rosemont Police Department, um, they were saying that they didn't have any video. Of course, Miss Teresa didn't have any video. The only people that had the video between those 36 hours and when Kenneka was finally found was the hotel. Why did it take them 36 hours to release that video? Not only to the Rosemont Police Department, but also let the mother view the video, of what happened, and so police also glossed people also glossed over the fact that it is the videos were motion sensitive, right? And the reason why I mentioned that is because, people were dissecting the videos, there were a lot of strange shadows in some of the video, in some of the early days of the videos, and they kept, releasing different versions of the video to the point to where, nobody knew what was real video, what was photoshopped video. Some people are alleging that the hotel photoshopped a lot of people out of the video. That is why, the lawyers and the police department was only given 30 to 40 minutes of the entire 36 hours of video, right? um there was clearly in some of the early videos some shadows that were not cropped out. There was a lot going on, right, when it comes to the video. So I just still don't understand how it makes any logical sense to think that Teresa Martin had anything to do with her child's death via sacrifice, via she was actually at the hotel committing the crime herself. It's not logical. The timeline doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. Why people want to come out and bother this lady, is beyond me. Now, I also understand that one of the guys that has been doing videos since this happened, used to be in contact with her on Instagram, and evidently it sounds to me like he got salty because he wrote her a message after the settlement and she did not respond to his message. This photo right here is a photo of Lenore, Kenneka's sister, and Miss Teresa running out of the morgue door after identifying Kenneka's body, and that is them clearly upset and frantic. But I don't understand how could she, be this good of an actress, right? And also, again, in this photo, the guy said that the reason why, she's got all of this clothing on is because there are marks under her turtleneck and on her arms, because she was actually fighting and committing the crime herself when it comes to killing Kenneka. That is the reason why she not to not wanting to allude to the fact that it was clearly cool outside, and in Chicago we know it's really cool when, when it's fall, and sometime even in the summer. But anyway, that's why he said she had the turtleneck on, child. Okay. Now, so in this video, in this photo, he tried to say that, look, her she's always covered up. She's already always covered up to her neck because she's got on a hoodie, right? So this is Teresa Jenkins walking. She asked the police to show her where her child was found, right? Now, see, there's a reason, a couple of reasons why I want to mention to you guys this photo right here. So, number one, the guy said that the police gave her some things that they found of Kenneka's, some evidence, right? They gave her the evidence and she put the evidence in her pocket. That's an out and out lie. Why would the police on camera give anybody evidence, right? What they did was they had bagged a hair tie or a hair tie thing and some lip gloss that they found on the floor in the freezer where Kanika's body was found, and they asked her to identify those items that they had found in the freezer with Kanika, right? And that was a plastic bag that they had showed her. They did not give her that evidence to take home with her. That was ridiculous. I can't believe you said that. That was plumb ignorant. I mean, like, really? The police gonna do her that big of a okay. All right, but she's suspected, but they're going to give her evidence. Okay, make it make sense, but okay, right? And so also, he had an issue with this video that she did on Instagram from June 6th. And on this video, Miss Teresa is on there talking about the fact that she had just lost her sister. Did I say June? It was June 3rd or 6th, right? She had just lost her sister, and she was clearly upset about that. And she also was talking about the fact that she had previously lost two brothers, right? So now she's lost not only Kenneka, but two brothers and a sister, right? And so she's clearly upset. This video is only a few less than 5 minutes long. And so evidently the guy wrote, something to her via Instagram and she didn't reply. And after that, all the new narratives, all the fake, false, and lying narratives of her being involved of her daughter's in her daughter's death, started coming from this guy's mouth that's a YouTube content creator, right? Of course, you got a lot of millions, following him that are bolstering this outright lie, and so it is just hard for me to understand why anybody would want to pin this sort of thing on this woman. Are you saying this really because she got a settlement? That can't bring her daughter back. It can't bring her sister back. It can't bring her two brothers back. And clearly she wouldn't have received the settlement in the first place if the hotel was not at fault for something. They did something wrong, right? But perhaps it was all the evidence that they left just laying around for anybody to find. Like when the lawyers did when they did a walkthrough, there was a lot of evidence just in plain sight. Like how is it that Kenneka, if she walked herself into the freezer, and this is a wooden door. See, there's a lot of this evidence, like I said, that was glossed over. This is one part of it that nobody's really talking about. So this is a wood, you know, setup right here. This wood doors there. If you notice, there's a lock on the door, right? And the reason why this wood is set up right here, because there is an old kitchen that they were repairing, they were refurbishing, and that old kitchen was behind this door. Now the lawyer showed a picture, and they had questions as to how it was that if this door was locked, how is it that Kenneka managed to unlock this door, walk inside of the door to get to the kitchen that was being repaired, to get to the freezer that she was found in, because people were shown photos of a freezer that was not the actual freezer that she was found in. That freezer, they showed that freezer because it was a walkthrough, and in my opinion, they didn't want to show these actual photos. This is actual photo from the cameras in the hotel, and this is a picture of how that kitchen. There are several kitchens in this hotel, from what I understand, because this is a they have a like a little cocktail area. They do several conventions and events, and so there's more than one kitchen. So she walked through the clean kitchen to get. That's what they're saying, to get to, but this is the actual um place where the freezer was that her body was. Oh, shoot, I done lost audio. Hold on, I'm gonna have to try to get the audio back. Hold on, guys, 1 minute. Oh man. call my phone, and when they call my phone, I lose audio, right? So anyway, this is actually the kitchen that has the freezer in it where she was actually found. Of course, the hotel is not going to want these photos shown to anybody, because it kind of looks bad on the hotel that they let one of the kitchens you know get so bad. It's like it's all rusted out and all this and all that, and that is the reason why they showed you a picture of the clean, the kitchen that was not rusted out. Okay. So this is another photo. This is a photo of the actual freezer that Kenneka's body was found in. But in the photo that they showed you, the freezer that they showed you, they didn't show you this photo. They showed you another freezer, right? And so these are just some of the things that I was noticing that nobody's talking about. This is a open. This is after those wood doors were opened for them to take photos of it. This is the actual kitchen that she was found in. It's all rusted out. I showed you guys the freezer. Now this is a photo of the kitchen that she allegedly walked through. If you see these doors on the left, it's like a double door and they're open. So she walked. This is the kitchen that she passed through to get to the old kitchen. And you have and I got to thinking, well, now why would she walk through this clean kitchen, not go straight back to the freezer, but go through those doors just to get to the old rusty kitchen? Didn't it seem like somebody was it appeared to me, it seemed like to me that somebody was trying to hide her, you know. And also a thing that I noticed in one of the photos, like I said, people were, showing it really does appear that, because in some of these videos, just let me say that Kenneka, we know that she's staggering in the hall. She's been drugged by Monifa, allegedly. That's my suspect, my number one suspect, but I'm gonna have to say allegedly, right? So it really seems like it's like a figure in this mirror right here that's not Kenneka's image, or not her reflection. That's what it seems like to me, right? And also, nobody, a lot of people forgot about the fact that when she turned the corner, before she got to what they thought was a water fountain, was actually a men's bathroom. Now, another thing that's off is the timeline, because they don't know how long she was in that bathroom, because I believe a lot of this video was tampered with, and we really don't know the timeline of, not the true timeline of events, as it pertains to how long she was in the bathroom, how long it took her, or to be led um to wherever it is that they wanted her to go. This is a picture of her walking through the clean kitchen. She had to go through this kitchen again, in this condition, to get to the other kitchen, and she somehow found her way all the way back to the freezer all by herself, and she was not familiar with the hotel. That's what we're supposed to believe, right? I don't think so. But anyway, so here's another photo of the kitchen that she had to travel through. And another thing is, how's it that nobody seen her to help her? Now it is about 2, 3 in the morning, but there is still staff there, and we showed pictures of staff. I showed pictures in my last video of not only the security guard, but there were several people working the night Kenneka allegedly went missing in the hotel and was found dead. And another thing I couldn't understand is that she's now we clearly see her stumbling through the hall. On some videos, she's so you know leaning. She's leaning up against the walls. She's leaning so far back in some of the videos to where she had to be held up by somebody, because she would have fell to the ground as far back as she was leaning. On some of those videos, so you just can't tell me that somebody wasn't photoshopped out or something. I'm just not gonna. There's no way she could be standing in my opinion, in her condition. Like I said, she was leaning up against the wall. Here's a picture on the left of one of the staff members that was, in the hotel at the time. There are a lot of timestamps. You can follow the timestamps, and it proves that there was quite a bit of staff actually um in the hotel. Now, this is an area to where after she went into the employee area, into the first kitchen, you see this door right here on the white. It's kind of like a cage door. They say she turned into that door, and that's how she was able to make her way to the old kitchen area, where she was found. And also, they said when she passed through those first set of doors, she had to go through this door and up this flight of stairs. Now, if you are out of it, she was clearly drugged and she couldn't hardly stand on her own. How was it that she made it up through that door and made it up these stairs all by herself? That doesn't make sense. First, she was supposed to be able to get into this locked wood door. Then she was supposed to be able to get through this door. Then she's supposed to be able to make it up these stairs all by herself and miraculously find the old rusty freezer where they found her body all by herself. All by herself. Right? So, not to mention, people gloss over all of that, right? Not to mention, when it comes to the freezer, and I'm gonna hurry up, y'all. When it comes to the freezer, um there is a cooler. There's a cooler before you get to the freezer area of the freezer, right? And so they showed, do I have this picture? They showed pictures of the cooler and then the freezer, because she would have to, after she got into the cooler, she would then have to walk herself back in the freezer. Now here is a picture of the freezer that they showed us. This is the actual freezer area, but before she got into, no, I think this is the cooler area. And if you guys notice, there is a lock on the door on the inside of this cooler, right? And that door is actually the door to the freezer. Let me see if I can find. Oh, this is close to that freezer, and this is just an exit door, an employee exit door. Now, my theory is also that they hit her in that freezer that was under repair. And I don't believe that there was a camera open over that freezer, because the whole kitchen was under repair. So, but I don't know. But there is no video of Kenneka Jenkins walking into the freezer by herself or accompanied by somebody. We see there's video of her walking towards the freezer area, but there is no video to this date that has come out with her walking into that freezer. And this is a just another shot of those wood doors that were locked, that she had to open to get to the one kitchen to get through to the other kitchen, right? And so I thought I had another picture of that freezer. But anyway, you go to the cooler, you go through the cooler before you get to the actual kitchen. And in the photo, the cooler is the freezer part of the whole thing is actually locked. So the cooler door was unlocked, but we know, we were told that, when they, at the time of the what is it called, the drink manager finding her after 36 hours, he had to unlock the cooler door to get to the, and then unlock the freezer door, and that's where she was found. That didn't make sense to me. Why would you, unlock the cooler door and then decide, hey, this door is locked, but let me just go on and unlock the freezer door and see if she's in the freezer. Like she's magic, like she can walk through walls or freezer doors or something. But anyway, that is what she was supposed to be found. And like I said, this is the only picture I got. But if you pay close attention to the middle part of the frame, you can see that's the freezer door. She was found actually in the freezer, not the cooler, right? And so she would have had to unlock the freezer door to get inside of the freezer, right? So that's another thing that's not been answered for me. I don't understand how it's done. Um, and I found this video on Google. All of these photos that I'm showing you guys, these are photos that I found on Google. And so anybody can, so when you say go back and do your own research, all the research is online. This stuff has been, downloaded for 7 years, and all you have to do is Google search it. Go Google search it for yourself and draw your own conclusion. That's why I mentioned that. This photo right here is a photo of shadow. They're showing shadows. Like the shadow in front is Kenneka, the one is back seems like it's a guy with a hoodie on, right? And this is her coming out of the bathroom area. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? And so I just found that very interesting. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is just part two of the video because there's a lot of ridiculous rumors going around. I'm sorry I went down the rabbit hole again, but the whole purpose of this video was to simply to say that I don't believe in no way, shape, form, or fashion that Miss Teresa Martin had anything to do with her daughter's death. Right? I really don't. And even to this, I didn't at the time, and I don't believe it. Didn't believe it then. Don't believe it now. Do, however, um, still believe that the usual suspects, right here, these are my usual suspects. They are the one that played a part in Kenneka's death. You know, I still believe that Monifa, her frenemy, okay, is the one that drugged her in that bathroom. This is just my theory. This is just my opinion. We don't know concrete 100% that she did that, but this is just my opinion. This is just my theory, right? This is allegedly from me, right? But the way I see the evidence is that um you know, Monifa and Shamaya had something to do with setting up Kenneka. And that's just the way I feel about it. That's the way I'm always gonna feel about it. Um, and yeah, it just is what it is. But for me, it's the usual suspects. But to me, the most innocent victim besides Kenneka in this is her mom, it's her family. Because I don't believe Miss Teresa had anything to do with this, and I can't believe that anybody would try to even infer that she had, not only that she had something to do with it, is on the one hand she was sacrificed. She went from sacrificing Kenneka to actually committing, going, being at the hotel and then committing the crime herself. And I was like, really? Are we really that silly? And like I said, at the end of the day, that is how, in my opinion, the police department got out of actually investigating Kanika's death any further. It's because of a whole bunch of ignorant, narratives being spun, even to this day. A whole bunch of nonsense being said online and offline. A lot of fighting online and offline. And if people really want justice for Kenneka Jenkins, why would you spin these narratives? Even to this day, why would you say something crazy? Like she was at the hotel actually committing a crime. Why would you say something like that when it's illogical? Don't you think the police would have brought that up if they felt that that was true in any way, shape, form, or fashion? The woman was at home without a car, recovering from a double mastectomy, waiting for Bree or Monifa or whoever had the keys to drive her car back to her. She then gets up in the light of day in the early morning the next day and tries to go to the hotel and ask them to search for her daughter herself. And all you have to say about all of that evidence that's clearly recorded is she did it. She did it herself. That's why she got this thing on her hand, because she was actually the one committing the crime. You clearly are spinning false narratives just to have content at this point in time. Um, it's either that or you done lost your mind. You done been down a rabbit hole so long, honey, that you haven't been up for air and it's affecting your brain cells. Okay? Because I do not believe, once again, that Miss Teresa had anything to do with this. And anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It is very important. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope it makes a little more sense. Um, as it pertains to if Teresa Martin had anything to do with Kenneka's death, which the answer is no. I hope this brings some clarity to a lot of you guys that really don't know what to think because of all of these negative and false narratives and out lies that are being spun, in particular here on YouTube. And so I hope I, kind of cleared it up for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or put your questions in the comment section below. And thank you guys for listening to me. Hope you guys will come back again for my next video. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.